Engines roaring, feel the beat, Ryan and John can't be beat, on the Fastlane, so sleek, gotta rev up, hit the street, ooh yeah, Fastlane, all night, feel the speed, feel the light, join the ride.
And we're back in the fast lane. Yes, proudly brought to you by Betterfi, as well as Breitling Watches and Sundown Private Wealth, who are still with us, but we're doing some other things with them throughout the course of the year. Miami.
Yes, let's debrief because there's a lot to talk about. So you've been to Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
You've done is the Oscars?
Oscars twice.
So maybe you can explain to me, because I don't understand this mentality,
Oscar
right?
Piastri.
That's a good one. And the Oscar Piastri goes to not Lando Norris. Why is it that these international American movie star singers tend to just ignore Martin Brundle?
I saw that. I saw a little bit of it. I saw the movie star from the Netflix show that I've been watching, White Lotus.
Yes, I thought of you, White
Lisa.
Lotus, when I saw that.
I also saw, but she was very nice. She came and she eventually, he got Jackie Stewart to go and call her.
But why do they, like, you saw he was trying, like, it's like he was talking foreign language. Is it because, we watch Sky Sports, right? So we know Ralph, we know Martin Brundle, we know all the guys.
Yeah.
Is it because to them it could be just some journalist with a mic?
Also because I think that the world of Hollywood is very much in its own little bubble, right? They're not only getting the reporters from Formula One that hound them, they get hounded every single day. I mean, when you go to an event, and any event in America that's like a glitz or glamour, it's Oscars or Grammys, whatever, the press are almost in a different world. You're in an outside world pushing on the bubble all the time. So for those Hollywood stars, it's just another press person trying to talk to them. They don't see the world of Formula One like Martin as a former racing driver, or Ralph as a former racing driver. They see they're in the same world. They live in that world all the time. They're never disconnected from that world. So for them, it's just another day of paparazzi hounding them. So they treat Martin Brundle on his grid walk as they would any other paparazzi, member of the paparazzi wanting to get their attention. And of course, as a Hollywood star, they know the big names, the big E Entertainment News. They know the big outlets, TMZ. So when they see the microphones and it's covered in that, they know exactly what those outlets are. And to a large degree, some of those stars don't really know. It's Sky Sports News, and they know it. They think it's a news outlet, whatever. It's not their world. It's not the focus of their world. They are the focus of their world.
Of course.
And they live in that world. So it's always tough.
Yeah, it just seems a bit weird because you think they come there knowing what they're coming there for, surely. But then they also, like, when he sometimes interviews them, they like act... It's like they don't even understand what he's saying.
No, I know.
It's a tough job, I mean, would you do it?
It's a tough gig. No, it's a tough gig. Rejection's real.
Yeah.
But speaking of rejection being real, Lando Norris, Lewis Hamilton, what is happening with those two?
Well, let's talk about driver pairings at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, just coming in, because this is fresh off the press, Colapinto is in for
Can you believe it? Doing out. But I mean, this is... writing was on the walls.
Harsh.
Boom.
Yeah, I mean, look, there is only 20 spots in the world, so everybody fights for it. But gee, man, that's a little bit harsh. I think he's been a bit unlucky. He hasn't been off to the best starts, but these but also the team principals also resigned from Alpine.
Sure.
And Vlavatori's in. I mean, this is going to be really interesting.
Yo.
But I think this is what they really ultimately wanted. Sadly, I think doing... he never really had a fair shot at it. I think they were always pressure
What happens? I've always wondered, what happens, like, so now you're out, right?
Yeah.
You're out of the team. You don't have a race. You don't have a drive in any other formula at the moment. You've given up your seat in the previous formula to race Formula One. Now you're leaving the pinnacle to go to do what? What does he do?
Well, normally the guys go endurance series. We see that. But I mean, their whole lives aspire to be in Formula One. So there is no plan B. There is only plan A. So when this happens, look, they probably get payout of a decent amount. But that's not what it's about. It's about staying in a Formula. It's like Valtteri Bottas. I mean, he's sitting there dying to drive, and he's on the pit wall watching. There's just so hard to get back in once you get out. And I think that's it, and it gives him a bad sort of reputation because no one wants to take him. They look at you only as best as your last race.
Sure.
But let's talk about the drivers in itself. We look at Alex Albon and Carlos Sainz. I mean, the internal fighting, Lewis Hamilton and Leclerc. there.
Well, and his team, his whole team, just being so sarcastic and then playing the whole thing down this week as if like, oh, well, what are you talking about? You know, it was a bit of banter. No, that was bad.
It was bad. I mean, you got to keep your cool. I know they heated moments. I know they're under a lot of pressure, but it doesn't go down well because it shows cracks. And, you know, like we talk about that mental strength that you need to stay on top. But I'm very impressed with Oscar Piastri. I know me and you have said it for a while now that,
this
you know,
is gonna be
we're going to call him.
Sneaky.
Yeah, but he's managing the race so well. I think from a mental aspect, he's in a far better place. Look how he overtook Max versus Lando. Lando was just all over the show on the dirty side of the track. Oscar was clever, put him on the dirty side, pushed him wide, got the gap gone.
Yeah.
And again, yes, maybe the first corner Lando could have waited and that, but look, he's a racer. You're going to take the gap.
Sure.
I know that feeling. I took the gap in the 9 hour and almost cost me.
I know.
So, you know, as a racer, people say, oh, he could have waited. Yes, maybe he could have, but he also wants to show Max, I'm not going to be bullied. I'm not going to be put in the corner. I'm going to take the fight to Max. So while they're busy squabbling, Lando's Oscar's just like, thanks, I'll just take this, mate. I'll just go and
100%.
cruise on. So, yeah.
And Max, I mean, let's talk about that car. That car is a nightmare. That Red Bull, he's literally driving the wheels off that thing. He comes from the birth of his daughter, literally
Congrats.
arriving late, and bam, he just smashes and drives the wheels off that car.
Yeah, but that's why that Mercedes are trying so hard. They reckon they've offered him a $1 billion
billion dollar
deal. Because again, they want to win. Mercedes want to be back on top, and he's the guy that can definitely take any car and put it there. So very exciting at the moment for the championship. But
break this weekend. Last weekend, congratulations to everyone who went up to the Samola Hill Climb. We weren't there. We unfortunately had other things that we had planned. Huge loss in the world of motor racing to the entire Yobert family on the loss of a brother, a husband, father, friend. Just a kind of a stalwart in the racing community. And the Yobert family, our deepest and most sincere condolences. From local motor racing, is there more local motor racing this weekend?
No, there's also a bit of a break with local motor racing. Next weekend, there's the Power Series, which kicks off. So that's quite exciting. And so a bit of a break. But we've got 2 wheels. We've got the France, Le Mans, MotoGP.
Oh, wow.
So that's going to be exciting. And we'll see who takes the fight to the Marquez brothers at the moment.
Now, John and I did 2 very interesting things this week. The one is if you're leaving Cape Town on the N1 on the left-hand side, there's a very old aeroplane that you go past in the N1. It's actually, in fact, just past Stodels. You go past it and you go under the bridge and you see a very old aeroplane and a couple of relics of cars. I've always wondered what happens behind that. What's in like the grounds and on the grounds behind that. John popped on by. Who would have thought?
Ryan, I tell you, what a find. I mean, I went to the gate and I saw the cars. So you see all the rusted cars, but I mean, they're worth something, you know, as collectors, and those parts and stuff is hard to get. So, you know, we know this, but a lot of people go, oh, look at this rubbish. Look at this junk here.
Yes.
And I actually stood at the gate and I was like, because you can't see the gems in the middle.
Correct.
So Bjorn said to me, Dad, no, come on, let's just go. I was like, okay, cool. Man, was I glad I went to Les Boshoff, the owner there that took us around. I mean, pure petrol head, you know, so he could see our excitement, and I'm sure he doesn't do tours with everybody, but because we knew the cars and understood it, he took us around and put Bjorn in some of the cars. He had an original Noddy car there that they sat in. They had the land speed record car, but it's just too many. But I mean, you're a Mercedes guy, you're like a Mercedes as well.
AMGs,
and they just had so many. The Bentleys, Rolls-Royce. There's a Rolls-Royce, you know. Very cool. Go check it out. I mean, 100 Rand to get in. It's really worth walking around. Old hearses, old ambulance. They had a mini Gelunterwagen. What's that? Unimog.
Unimog.
But it's a small version.
Small baby Unimog.
Yeah, baby Unimog.
No
it was pretty cool. I was like, can he sell it to us? But he was like, no, he doesn't sell anything.
We're going to go check it out sometime soon as well. And this week in the garage with driving force is the previous generation M2, but also our dear friend Wally Delport's got the previous generation M5, which isn't that old.
No.
It's only a couple of months old. He got the very last of the M5s before the latest M5. We put them kind of together to have a little chat. Let's have a look. Now, talking about previous generations, no one does it better than BMW. They've got a previous generation M2 and M5. It's also a M3, but with us at the moment is Willie's hot off the production line M5, literally replaced a couple of months ago. And then the M2 that we've seen the new one around for quite some time now, John. But the previous model M2s, specifically the competition M2s, you can pick up at a absolute steal at the moment.
Yeah, you don't see many of them actually. It's been a while since I've seen one, and this one's been awesome to drive. Obviously with Billy behind me on the N1, and then in front of me, and then all over, but the cars just sound awesome. And I mean, in white, It just looks spectacular with the carbon showing through. You know, it's got beautiful carbon bits. This one's actually got a fancy steering wheel. We were talking about the steering wheels we thought were about 20 grand, or actually 15 grand. It's Alcantara. We'll show you guys in the video, but it revs up on the dial like Formula One.
Oh, wait.
And then it tells you the
Tells you
revs.
when to shift?
Yeah, when to shift. And then
Is it an
also the
optional extra? Aftermarket, or is
think
it
it's
aftermarket?
aftermarket, yeah.
Aftermarket.
Okay.
But it must be a BMW aftermarket feature.
Probably,
Because
yeah.
it looks proper. It's not
Yes.
your Janjiro or Mogs sort of an option. Now,
Herman-
that's okay
Herman-
with that in your
Herman
GTR.
Cordon.
Yeah, no, it's not a Steve Madden or a Steven Fasaki version, but it's a real deal. I mean, you can see. I mean, Billy knows
no,
his
look, I
stuff.
like it. It's really
It's not
nice.
one when you brake and the steering wheel folds over, it actually stays in place. That's the real. No, but jokes aside, I mean, the car is proper. I mean, 2019 model, 70,000 Ks on the clock for 800 odd thousand. I mean, what a car.
Driving force out of the car in
Yeah.
stock at the moment. Villy, now it's been quite an interesting week because, first of all, by the way, Villy and I did a bit of exploring the last weekend in his all-new X7, and for the first person to ever make a mark in his car, it was me. And normally I'm so careful with anything, but I scratched the rim, which is the worst feeling on earth in a brand new X7. Let me just tell you something about that vehicle, though. The sound system on there. We went out for an evening, and I can tell you something. There is no sound system that I've experienced lately like the one that comes standard on that X. I think is it the standard system?
It's a standard system. Well, it's the upgraded version of the sound option, but,
Right.
but it's standard from BMW. Yeah.
Just, it is an amazing
But
sound
BMW have always
system.
done sound system pretty
Yeah,
well.
it's a 26 speaker sound system. It's
You
unbelievable.
go with your 26 turbos.
Yeah.
26 inches
Yeah.
of TV screen. Now let's talk this M5. This M5, I mean, look, a lot has been said about the all-new M5 being slightly heavier. People are, and actually I was on the phone call now to a friend of mine, Bobby from Specialized, sending you a very special shout out. Bobby's a fellow petrol head, but he was saying, what do you think about the look of the new M5? Because he's not quite decided. He loves the classic lines of this previous shape M5. He says they got it right in terms of the styling and the design cues
Yeah.
on this generation M5 that
Yeah,
you've
for
got,
sure.
and on the new one, it's an acquired taste. But I remember the same thing we said about the N2.
Exactly.
M2.
We did. I mean, it grew on us. We didn't like it initially, but I mean,
Yeah.
even Chris Harris
The
came out saying,
square lights,
yeah,
everything was
yeah.
odd. Yeah.
I mean, remember the Bugs Bunny teeth and the grills and all that. But I think as time goes on, and when you see the cars in
Grows
real
on you.
life, it actually looks a lot better. So,
Yeah.
but every generation will have to have some improvements. They've got to do something different to these cars.
Look, I love the new M5. I think it's beautiful. I just
Yeah.
think I'll wait a bit. You know, this one is
Oh,
there's
I think it's
absolutely
collectible, this
zero,
one.
Super
but there's zero
collectible.
flaws in this. I mean, they
No.
fixed
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
All the little glitches and all the little things that were wrong on it is perfect
Yeah.
now. And but when the new competition comes out, you know, then maybe
But it
we'll
reminds
consider
me
it.
of this car of like we always joke about like a mob boss car or like
Yeah.
a power car. It's
Yeah.
just,
It is.
it's just like you don't see these big sedans, these powerful sedans
Yes.
that much, you know.
There's something about M cars and from even from this generation, and maybe from this generation slightly previous to this M2, and definitely from this M5 onwards, there's something about the hookup of the vehicle that every single thing about it makes sense when you're driving it hard or whether you're driving it every day. And cast your memories back, guys, to when the M6 was a big thing, right?
Yeah.
And it came out. I mean, that thing was
Yeah.
a nightmare to drive it slow.
Yeah.
It was a terrible car.
Felt like I wanted to.
You know, there was nothing so appealing about driving that car slow. Driving it flat out, different
Yeah.
thing. But these M cars, man, they connect so sweetly. They really connect up so
Yeah.
nicely, whether you're driving them flat out or as a family
And the
car.
braking, everything. and the-
Everything.
And the
No,
speed
very,
slow.
very stable. The stability on the car.
Yeah.
I mean, we spoke about it with
Balance.
that M3, the balance. You know,
Oh.
and the braking. The car's just planted to the surface. You know, you don't get that nervous twitch feeling.
Never.
No, they are awesome to drive. I've been enjoying driving this. Obviously, this M2 is a little bit light on the rear wheels. So when Billy was pulling away, I was a little bit battling with traction. I needed like a couple of sandbags in the
making up
back, you know,
excuses,
just
I'm
to
sure.
get more traction. Always. The
It
list of
looked-
excuses are this long when you're a race car driver.
It looked and sounded incredible, though, the M2. What was really impressive is we've previously come from a coffee, and in the middle of a parking lot, quite a way off, we're both getting in. I'm getting into a Toyota Prado, John's in the M2, and you're here, whoa! And I knew that was the M5. Did you
Yeah.
see me turn back
I saw
and give you a little look?
I saw that.
I could hear that car fire up, and
But
that's
he's-
the beauty.
But he's saying, look at the little snack there, the little M2 snack.
Snack
Because
it
the
up.
car does look a lot smaller next to this M5, but both awesome
It
cars.
does. Both awesome vehicles. Really lekker to have your M5 out
Thanks,
on the road
guys.
with us, because I know it
Yeah.
spends a lot of time at home. You've got so much to choose from. And then driving force. A huge thanks to the guys out there that have this car on the floor at the moment. Go and ask for them. Go and see Tyron and the guys at Driving Force. They've got this. They've got a GTS Porsche Boxster there. They've got the new Discovery on their showroom
Yeah,
floor as well.
beautiful, yeah.
There's lots to choose from. So a huge thanks to the guys at Driving Force. And of course, Magmaster. A huge thanks to Jono from
doesn't know
Magmaster.
it yet,
He doesn't know he's going to get it.
For fixing the tire and the rim on the X7. We really appreciate you. Thanks,
does a
guys.
Great job.
All right, guys.
Okay, give us a little rev there. Oh, the noise of that M5 though.
Say, bum, 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 bum. Look at, I mean,
It's like my stomach after a good Indian and the night before. The next morning, I'm bum, 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 bum.
but a little bit more like ring, ding, 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 ding. No, listen, I mean, two different, completely different cars. Very cool that they were both in white. Lots of carbon fiber, which I love. But both those cars, very, very quick. Interestingly, because you don't see many of the M2 competition around. That steering wheel is very cool, though. So the guy that had the car previously spent a little bit of money, put that steering wheel on. But I can understand why I see so many pics and videos of M2s going sideways. That car lights up very quickly. Obviously, a lot of power, very light on the rear. So you have to know your stuff.
What's the price at?
Just under 900,000.
Oh, great car.
With 70,000 Ks on the clock.
Gee, nothing.
I mean, again, we always talk about it. What do you buy? Find R1 million that you can really enjoy and have fun. That Porsche Boxster,
Right there.
the M2 competition.
Perfect.
So yeah,
Perfect.
but Philly's M5, he must hang on to that.
Oh, that's
that is
a
special.
beauty. Also put some new shoes on the new Prado that's in the garage in the Fastlane. BF Goodrich, the new
Pair Bronx, or what do you call, like a real
KO3s. They are incredible. I've got to tell you, to anyone who's considering putting them on, put them on. The ride is incredible. It handles at high speed, low speed. It's a comfortable ride. The new BF Goodriches are on the vehicle. Have a look at this picture. And doesn't that just look stealthy? Absolute beast. So
I just love it because it
that.
just looks cool standing still like
Does.
that. Like, you know, like, yes, you could maybe compromise a bit of performance, but in this
No
case,
ways.
you're not.
It's lovely.
But the look just creates a whole, I mean, it's changed the vehicle.
Yeah. We'll be back with the Fast Lane next weekend. I'm off to the bush. John's picking up something from Roller Luxury Collection, the new Land Cruiser, to put that through its paces over the weekend. I am off to the border between Limpopo and Botswana for the Glacier Waterberg Traverse. It's 3 days of mountain biking up right on the Botswanan border. You're in a game reserve with giraffes, with wildlife, with a whole lot of wild animals, including me. I'll show you some footage of that and follow all our socials from the latest from that. Huge thanks to Breitling, of course, to Betterfy.
I just wanted to say, because we always forget, those cool Quattrunaro glasses. Where they?
Oh, I'll put a picture of me. wearing
You
them.
have to, because
Very cool Oakleys
those
that are
very
out there.
cool.
The latest from El Diablo.
Yes.
And Oakley. Also to all the moms, happy Mother's Day this coming weekend. Have a great Mother's Day, moms. And we'll be back with the Fast Lane next week.
Engines roaring, feel the beat, Ryan and John can't be beat, on the fast lane. So sleek, gotta rev up, hit the street. Ooh.